Well, we have a guest, and Debbi Mallinson is from Magic Lamp Consulting.
Hi, thanks for having me.
How's things going?
Things are going fabulous.
And so you're a consulting group that helps to strengthen communities through innovation work, nonprofit partners helping them attain financial support need to fulfill their organization. So a lot of times people start these nonprofits, and then later like, okay, how do I get funding to do this? And let me move my poinsettia. This is very, very, very near and dear to me here, $1.99. And then Debbi steps in, and your team steps in to try to help people get the necessary funding. And today, that's a connect the dot kind of thing. It's a lot of work, like finding all these resources and who gives to what. Because some groups will give to cultural groups, some will give to startups. And once you start, and they're the seed. And once the seed is taken and then they're all done, and they go and start, they work on donating to other startups. And so there's all this stuff, and you put it all together for them.
Right. So we focus on nonprofits. It was funny because I was just talking to Brian about, to see if he was a nonprofit, because most funders want to give to nonprofit organizations. But like you said, most executive directors start their nonprofit because they're passionate about something. And the business typically comes second. Right. And so that's...
And all the paperwork that's got to go to the state. And oh, my word. People do these nonprofits all the time. I don't know if they what they're getting themselves into. But.
Right. Well, and that's what happens. And so, and I think a lot of people think, oh, we'll just apply for grants. Right. But grants are not the first step. Right. Because, funders want to see that you've been around for a little while. Have you gotten donations from other people? Are you fiscally responsible?
Do you have a plan?
And so, What's
your mission?
And so, when we get calls, it's, often early stages, but not always. One of my nonprofits has been around for 20 years. And so, they're looking for advice. They're looking to grow their nonprofit. They're looking for creative ways to continue to fund, to diversify their revenue streams. And so we do all that.
Yeah. No, that's a good thing. If anybody has any questions, 978-534-1626. And she's the Chief Executive Officer and founder and Massachusetts Nonprofit Network. So you're out there networking so that you can help others, right?
Yes.
I mean, Women in Development of Greater Boston and Central Mass. I mean, you've got to get yourself out there, make connections on both sides, the nonprofit side, as well as those that are out there. We have a community foundation here in this area.
They're wonderful. Yes,
and
they're wonderful.
Those people that are donors, some have very specific areas that they want those funds to go to, their donations, and others are open-minded and want to hear of new programs. But I mean, let's face it, there are a lot of nonprofits around, a lot of nonprofits. So it's a matter, as I said, connecting the dots.
Right. And that's really a lot of what we do. So we started Magic Lamp Consulting late 2019, right before COVID. First client came on in January 1st, 2020. And we've just seen the need is tremendous. And so, when we started, it was just me for a year and a half. And then I hired another part-time person. And now we're up to a team of 12, which is fabulous. We're doing great work. We've doubled our revenue year over year for our clients. So our first year, we had a little over $500,000 in revenue.
Nice.
Second year, we had $1.5 million in revenue for our nonprofits. And this year, we've exceeded $3 million for our partners. So,
and you have this process that I was looking through. I don't see it here, but I was looking through some information today. Kelly and I both going through the website and everything in preparation of the show. And so you do like this little mini boot camp where that's what I call it, a mini boot camp where you get people together and it's kind of like, okay, it's time to pull our ideas together here. And there's a fee to it, and I don't know how you work that out, but you're kind of strategically putting some things together here so that it really helps people. Like, I want to save the world. Well, I don't know if I can help you do that today, but let's start somewhere. And you offer those services.
Yeah, so we actually have partnered with the Leominster Library a couple of years ago, and we did a grant writing, three-part grant writing series. We're going to be doing a two-part series this spring, and so that'll be a lot of fun. They're great partners for us, and then we do all kinds of things. So we have on-demand consulting. Sometimes people are just looking for advice, so a 1-hour session is what they need. We do grant research packages because a lot of people don't realize that when you apply for grants, depending on the source that you look at, you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting a grant. And so it can be really discouraging if you don't go into it knowing that's the case. But you improve your odds tremendously if you do good research and you make sure that the mission of the organization that's applying aligns to the mission of the funder.
Yeah, I know donors that won't give to sporting groups, but I know other people that won't give to cultural groups because they give to sporting groups. So why would you waste an application or a solicitation to a sporting group when you know to that person or that foundation that doesn't give money? They do startups, woman startup businesses, or black-owned business. There are a million different areas that people are like, you know what, mine's the environment, mine is education, it's everywhere. So why would you kind of waste your time in theirs, putting in good practice, I guess, right?
Well, and for us, because I worked part-time as a grant writer before I started my business, and it's a lot of work when you're one person. But now that we work with multiple clients, like my database, I have over 300 funders that we've been awarded. And so I know. So if I'm talking to somebody like Brian or any nonprofit, and we're having a conversation, I'm thinking about who I've worked with in the past that aligns with the mission that you have. And so we typically know the grant cycles, how often they are, how much they give on average, what regions they like to cover.
That's a lot of the work. They might be really good at their nonprofit, but they might not be really good at or have the time to do the grant writing.
Yeah, it's usually the time.
How do people reach you?
Through the website is the best way. We have a contact form. It's magiclampconsulting.com. And that's the best,
See,
the best
you might
way
be
works.
bringing holiday gifts to people, right? 978-534-1626. Our phone number at City Hall, 978-534-7500. And you can reach us, and we have all her information in the event that somehow or another you want to tell somebody else, and like, what was the name? What was the name? What was the name? We can get that for you as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.